When I couldn't get in the club, I'd just be outside the club.
Yeah.
Parking lot pimping, bro. Man, because you see everything. You see all the plays being made. Okay, they're going around the corner. They about to try and rob so-and-so. Like, you like, man, this better. I went in the club. I was disappointed.
Yeah. Sick of hearing Beast Mode and I being corporate? Become a YouTube member and get all the shows ad-free and uncensored. So I can say words like,
take money out of that corporate jar when you become corporate free on the YouTube channel.
Attention Get Gotters, we have merch. Hit the link in the video and below to get your fits.
Don't get got, get yours with our new merch.
I mean, I know I'm gonna get got, but I'm gonna get mine more than I get got though. 2-4 for the one time. I'ma get got, but I bet I gets mine. 2-4 to 2-6, and if I get got, then you know what I'ma get.
Beast Mode, what's happening, bro?
You know what time it is?
Yeah, man, we got another special one, and a special guest into the studio today. The host of the Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis. 13 years, drafted 3rd overall in 1999. I'm not trying to say old, I'm trying to say he's refined. And I'm finding out he a rapper too, entrepreneur, everything, everything. Baron Davis, welcome to the show, big dog.
Yes, Lord.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Producer, all of that, man. So, first of all, welcome to the Get Got, man. You know, we in your city
the show,
right
bro.
now. I
Love the
appreciate
show.
it.
Love
First
the
of all,
show.
Beast Mode, he make it all go. You know what I'm saying?
This my
So,
guy.
What?
Man, that town business right
Hey,
here.
man, look.
say it again. He town
Say,
business.
look, man,
Mike,
Mike.
yelling town
Mike,
business. So
man,
every time you
Mike.
come see me, he yelling town
Mike.
business.
Nah, it's
everywhere
town
he at.
business.
Mike, we was little, young,
Yeah.
and this. Mike, he was, you know. And I'm like, damn, that didn't even have a tall like that.
No.
He everybody.
Oh, I saw him. We was in VA appreciating it.
That made it like, hell yeah, I'm from the town. Even though we knew BD was from LA.
Yeah.
Man, that town. You feel
Nah,
what I'm
for
saying,
sure.
man? That you pop outside, you gonna pull up the Mingles, you gonna
Yeah.
see that. You gonna pull up the Jeffries, you gonna see that. Caribbean City, you gonna see that.
I'm outside Beast Mode.
Man, what's happening? We posted it hella.
Oh,
Feel me?
man.
But then we really got to put it together. We went to the studio. Like, yeah, man, you know, like the beats doing. Like, yeah, man, you feel me? So I took my cousins.
Bro, them, yeah. They
Yeah.
could.
Pull up. Oh.
So
Sukasa. Mikasa, Sukasa.
There you go.
Man, and it was up every cent. Tapped in. And this is what I mean by tapped in. Because most, yeah, we tapped in. But nah, tapped in with my family. Bro.
Yeah, nah.
Sean ain't even nowhere near. Sean come home like, oh, yeah, man, baby, we was like, hold
Yeah,
on,
we
nigga,
be
y'all
telling
was
you.
with me?
Yeah, we like,
hold
hey,
on,
call
y'all
Sean.
But really, you feel me though, plugged
That's
in
love,
though,
bro.
plugged
Yeah,
in
that's
like
love,
that
bro.
though. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, dog different. You know what I mean? Dog.
Well, why we got you here? Like, where you get that sense of family and community from? Because trust me, that's my brother. He ain't the only one I've heard this from. You know what I'm saying? I met you before, but like, where you get that sense of just being a,
Man,
you know what I'm
just
saying?
be
Where you
wanting-
get that from, bro?
I want to do good. Like, I want to do good by people. I want to do good by people that come from the place I come from.
Mhm.
So the more I'm exposed to, you know, kids that come from our situation, and the more I'm more grounded that way, then they look at me and be like, damn, BD can do it. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like my philosophy, you know, just coming up. It's like, I'm always tap in with the next generation, no matter what city I go to. Take me to the hood first. I get traded to New Orleans. We move to New Orleans. Take me to the hood. AP, you know, hey Wayne, I'm in your hood.
Yeah.
What do I do? You know what I mean? And same thing in the town. It was like, as soon as I got to the town, it was just check in with all the legends, check in with the people who know, and then that way you find your comfort zone. So for me, it's like I'm comfortable in all places, but I'm most comfortable when I'm hanging out.
Yeah, man. That's bro. So you real comfortable in your skin, no matter where you at, no matter the environment, man.
Yeah.
That's a skill set. That's a love. It's crazy. When Beast Mode first got to Seattle, I had got there a few months earlier, and that's the first thing. Hey man, just take me to the hood. I just need to know where the real people at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then I can get a sense for how to act up in here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But I
Yep.
need to know where the people at, man.
It form your brand, right? Like in order, like, and I say this for the Warriors, even though we believe. When I got there, I was like, you know, I'm an LA dude, so it was like LA, Bay Area, especially Oakland. It's a huge rivalry.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, man, I don't fit in here until I start fitting in. And they was like, man, you from the town. I was like, I'm from the town. I started adopting the lingo. Right. And I wanted to translate that on the court. I even had them change the music. Hey man, we gotta change the music. We gotta play more Bay Area artists. We gotta play more Bay Area music.
Man.
We went out to the Warriors, you know.
So you was conscious about it. You was very like specific.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm
yep.
trying to do.
I never tell this story, but her, she was a little kid, and she had sung during our We Believe run, the national anthem.
Yeah.
And I remember she just killed it. And we was like, man, what's this little girl? We was hyped, right? And I'm stretching. I was like, yo, bring her over here. I was like, yo, we make the playoffs. You singing in the playoffs. Yeah. We made the playoffs. They brought her back. You know what I mean? And it was just like,
huge.
and then she turned out to be her, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's just like that type of, like, we was just aware everywhere. We was like, yo, we gonna people in San Francisco, but we gonna make sure we take care of the town. So players lived in the town. Some people lived in San Francisco. Some people lived in Walnut Creek. But when we moved, we all moved together.
Yeah.
You know, we all moved together. So when people start seeing us, like almost like, you know, like
that's dog, man.
Entourage again.
Blood in there, man. Oh yeah, what's up, man? You know, we gonna be out here next week too, man. Y'all, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so you had a situation where the youngster in Frisco got hit, and they was talking about, you know, like in cities where you got, you know, professional teams, like how athletes, when you know your athletes, like, you know what I mean? Athletes, they putting on for our city, nigga, representing they, you know, they off limits. But when you actually get out there and they actually can see you, it make it a little different. It make that interaction between the athlete and the community. It just ain't on no hood. Yes, you know, period.
They familiar with you. So then now they gonna say, oh, that's so-and-so.
That's dog. Right
outside
there.
of like looking at you, oh, let me check you out.
Yeah.
You know, you want people to know who you are and where you come from and where you relate to. Then you got more likability, which means you got more people just watching your back. So when it's time to leave, somebody gonna whisper in your ear, hey bro, it's time to go.
It's time to
hey, so-and-so, you know them dudes over there, you know, it's like
protecting you.
It's and a lot of times like dudes are just oblivious to it because you make so much money, you got security, but like your security may not know who the people are. Right? Like your security may be from a whole nother city. And all they there is to watch your back, which not mean they watching the entire surrounding and all the plays that's been happening. So growing up in LA, man, it was like when you a target and you know, like, man, if they get me, it's over. Then you start learning how to move. You start learning how to, you know, just politic with people, make sure like, you know, they know that you know where everything is. And so that just kind of come from growing up here. You know, even my days at UCLA when I couldn't get in the club, I'd just be outside the club. Parking lot pimping, bro. And like watching.
That was better than the club.
Man, because you see everything. You see all the plays being made. Okay, they're going around the corner. They about to try and rob so-and-so. Like, you saw, he was like, man, this better. I went in the club. I was disappointed. Like, man, it's dark in here. You can't see what's cracking. Coming out that club, everything. You see
Action.
You see everything, bro. Well, y'all both, I mean, obviously, I do the Power with Beast, so Oakland is a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? You played out there. they lost their pro teams. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about from your perspective the impact that.
Because while you was there, we was operating on all
cylinders when you was out. They had all three of them out there. You know what I'm saying?
We was operating on all cylinders.
It was all in the same space
that
too. That
Coliseum thing. You feel me though?
Mm-hmm.
That used to yank.
I'm telling you. Telling you, you pull up at 4:00. I get to the arena at 4. Game not till 7:30. They outside. They ready to go.
Yeah.
And then you pull up in the spring. You had a baseball starting.
Active.
Then all the football energy from the draft and all that. It's like everybody partying.
What's the impact you think on the fan base that the
Huge.
city? I mean,
huge, man. I think just from a physical standpoint. That is probably like the biggest impact. So when you look at the Bay Area, the surrounding area, which is the Bay, like Oakland is the centerpiece where everybody got kind of access points. Moving into San Francisco, the stadium is dope. They kind of raised the bar. Like all the things that Oracle needed to get, and the Warriors needed to get to that next upper echelon, that's what they got in Chase. But Oakland as a city should have basketball, football, baseball, hockey. Oakland as a city is one of the best sports cities in the world. You know what I mean? And a lot of that is because of the surrounding Bay Area. Not just San Francisco, it's the surrounding Bay. And so, I think you still got that feeling, that love for the Warriors, but like now you don't have the Raiders there, right? But a Raider fan is a Raider fan no matter where they are.
All over the world.
But you lose that Bay, you lose that Bay Connect.
Yeah.
Right? You lose that Oakland Connect. And then I don't know what's going on with the A's, but I can't even think of nothing but the Oakland A's, right? I'm a Dodger through and through. Like, what if y'all go somewhere else? Then it's like that's like y'all like a has been.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God.
Like damn, the Dodgers did that to you.
I'm sorry, you saying the Dodgers let you up out of the
Don't get mad at me. I'm a Dodger fan. You got it, bro. You got Tony.
Smack their ass up out of there.
Get them up out of there. We gotta move.
Man, we gotta get up out of here. Maybe we can get, you know what I mean? But damn, that's
But the culture is crazy, man. I mean, like I remember being with the Warriors and walking out of my apartment, and I can go anywhere and when nobody like. See, it was all love.
It was all love.
Sometimes somebody pull your little collar, poppy.
What's happening?
You're like,
what's happening?
You know what I mean? It was just, and everybody, right? There is like everybody. There is no, like you don't know who a bum and who rich, and so the conversation is the conversation,
no matter what. There's no judgment.
It's genuine. It's love. They pulling for you. They rooting for you, and it made it easy to walk around because everybody had your back.
Talk about, because again, I've been out to Oakland, mess with my brother, do his camp, all of that stuff.
Some camp.
Where he be arguing.
Again, still, whether I'm with him or not, it's like you said, it's love. I can go anywhere. They're like, that's
but see, what he ain't telling you is the playing in Frisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's different.
So
Yeah. Everybody know. Like once you play on any sports team in the Bay Area, you always got a home.
Yeah.
You know that.
Fact.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like you got real family, you got real partners, you got real friends, right? And then you got real locations and places that you can go to and feel like home. So anytime you play for any Bay Area team, I say for the Warriors, like the Bay Area is home.
This is what I wanted to ask you, bro. Like, because like I said, I seen his connection with the city and with the area. And I seen his connection as a pro athlete connecting with the culture. I'm talking about whether it's the rappers you don't even know, you ain't never heard about, but he blasting their music in Seattle.
What we doing during the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah,
when the funk really go down.
Yeah, we putting all the local rappers up there. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't even know what was going on with that song.
They was
Hey, play that song that you be taking. We gotta go out. We coming out the locker room like this. And ain't nobody from the town, right?
Right.
You know how
but it's
not
infectious.
from the West Coast, you know how they hear our music.
Yeah.
All they be hearing it. They be, you be listening to the E40 and the
Man, you have no idea.
Short. And then to hear all these
different, I'm from the South, bro. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, bro.
And they
loving
play
it.
that, you feel me? And then word for word, and I'm like,
they on it.
Man, y'all know all the that y'all rap. I done went to school with them, being running through the hallways and doing all this. These my actual people.
My folks, man. These my
Matter of
people.
fact, I'm gonna call these. I'm gonna let y'all really know though, you feel me?
How you connect with that part of the culture? Like, I know obviously athletes and entertainers, you know, people always say, oh, athletes won't be entertainers, entertainers won't be athletes. Okay, whatever. But I'm talking about you got genuine connection. Showing up, people showing up.
I got
want to
real
see
friends.
you do good. You know what I'm saying?
I got
was that
friends.
was that something that you going to that area that you was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure I make these connections, or was it an organic thing that I'm a LA dude and I'm just who I am and real recognize real?
I think it was just, like when culture is a misoverused word, and it's really like the art, the music, graffiti, just the style, the lingo. And so when you embrace yourself in people culture, and then you're a star athlete and you portray that on the court, and when they see you, it's love. So like even the music, right? Like we always bump 40 and Short. Like they always Mac Dre, all them dudes, like that music always translated to us. When I got there, I didn't really know. I had some Ray Young, they from the Bay. So like you learn from your teammates in college. But when I got traded, me and Rico Hines, we went out to the club and I was like, damn, Rico, I don't really like we gotta be on our P's and Q's because I'm from LA. I don't know. Like I'm thinking, man, this girl came through and she just bang, right to the line. I said, okay, we cool here. I said, we cool here.
And that was the blessing.
And then she just kept going.
Didn't bother you.
Man, then nobody bother us. Nothing.
What's happening?
Dudes pull up. Oh, BD, welcome. It was cracking after that. And I was like, okay, this is what we gonna be on. We gonna be popping the collars. We gonna, all that.
So for the gig guys out there that don't know, so in the streets, it's real beef. It was real beef. LA, Bay Area, Oakland.
It's a competition. It's not a beef.
I'm an East Coast cat, bro.
It's a competition. Like we play high school basketball in order to win the state. You got to play the best. From Northern California, and that's coming out of Oakland. San Francisco. Those are two. The top teams. Yeah. So it's like it's a built-in rivalry. Dodgers. A's, Giants. You know what I mean? Yeah. Raiders is Raiders is a unifier. You know what I mean?
Both cities,
because we, you got one in Oakland, we got a couple in LA. You know what I mean?
That was the tie-in, the bridge.
Yeah, that was the bridge.
That was the bridge.
That was the
we
bridge.
Played against,
and then the Warriors, like we got the Lakers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like playing for the Warriors was like, I was always a Run TMC fan. But like the Warriors, it was like, man, I'm going to the war. Like, damn, I feel like, initially you feel like, damn, like, how this gonna work? Yeah. It's like, GP played for the Lakers, you know what I mean? And it was just like, but GP, he's international superstar. You feel what I'm saying? He can do that. And so for me, I'm so LA, it was like, damn, like, we gonna clash, man? No clash.
Hell no.
It was because it opened my eyes to like, oh, we about to party and have. Oh, this is how they rock.
Because from the town, out the Bay, Oakland, Richmond, Frisco, Vallejo, San Jose. Game is game.
Yep.
And if you got game, then you gonna respect game.
Yep.
And when you respect game, the game gonna respect you.
Totally.
And as far as the individual that is right here, right now, you embodied that. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't more so like, I'm going to come in and impose my culture on it, but at the same time, because you ever went through. But I see the movement. But I get that. But I'm also going to bring my...
For sure.
So the thing I wanted to ask was, when you bop, who was that white boy you bopped on?
I knew he was
because you paused though, right? Yeah. But did it feel like a pause when you was up there on?
Bro,
did it feel like a pause?
Springies, bro, dude.
Was it like a? I'm up there, and then it was like a. Y'all see me?
It happened fast, bro.
Because it looked to me like you paused for like
slow
a good
motion,
5 seconds.
The whole shit for me was in slow motion because the play before I went to the hole and I laid it up, and he was right there under the basket, and he was like, "All right," gave me one of them winks, like, "All right, my dog."
I got you.
And I seen where he was. He was on the other side of the basket. So I was like, "Man, if I try it, I'm gonna try his ass this time." And so when I went up, I tried him. I didn't know I made it. Boom. And I thought maybe the ball had hit the back of the rim, and everybody was like, "Oh!" And then I seen my teammate. He was like, "Oh." I was like, I started looking around. Wasn't nobody.
Yeah.
Bro, for like,
right there. See the pause though.
Because for that second,
hey,
you put your hands up like
that though. What's happening? Get your ass up out of here, squares. Hand me the toilet paper, Stacks. And I see you had the back brace on. The bad back.
Yeah,
I know about that.
Brace.
Yeah, once I got up there and I paused, that back was in 100%.
And I didn't really know what I was gonna do because it was just like you couldn't hear nothing. Bro, you couldn't
do that part again.
So because you in a zone, bro.
Nah, it just sounded.
See the pause.
It sounded silent.
But
that's what I'm saying. That's the reason. Yeah, because when he got there, I was like, oh, like he about to try to block this, so I gotta,
Yeah, man. Oh,
and then the little pause got him.
Yeah,
I can get over it. And then after that, it was just like you couldn't hear, bro. You couldn't hear. So I was like, oh, like it's no good.
Hold up, did you know you really jammed it like that? Like.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had already processed.
I already know.
I gave it.
Once I knew I made the dunk, I was like, damn. I just tried to play it cool. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, that's what I meant to do. I'm telling you, that's what I meant to do.
I tried to play it cool. And Stack, I didn't even know Stack was wiping me down.
Another one.
We was outside, and we was outside like the whole team, and we all like. Everybody had their own style, but it was like we just all looked uniform because we all.
So basketball, y'all go like the whole squad go because only like 15 of y'all, 12, 15 of y'all, right?
Yeah, we all mob out.
See, football.
Only a few dudes like everybody got their own little pockets and cliques. You got the religious clique, you got the dudes who like. Just get sleep. They just want to get in the coaching clique. You know what I mean?
Want to get in the coaching clique.
They
different.
Yeah, like them dudes. You feel me?
Crazy, bro. That's funny, dog.
They drinking wine. Yeah, you're like, damn, bro, you 23 having wine, like with the media. Like, what you on? Like, what you trying to be when you grow up? I'm curious. Hey, bro, I be curious. Yeah. Hey, bro, what you hanging out? You hanging out with them for? Oh man, he want to get in the media, Okay. And then you got people who like to go out, and you got some dudes who go out all the time. You got, but if you can find commonality, you can find that commonality, that bridge. And I think for the Warriors, it was just that we was all misfits. We was all unwanted at some point in our career.
Was mobbing.
You know what I mean?
So you kind of used all
that. But you talk about it though. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
Open. Y'all talked about it.
It was like, they didn't want me either, bro. I was on my way. And then Stack was like, I was damn near on my way out the league. And then everybody started opening up. And that, like you place that vulnerability on the table, you like, and like, oh, okay, that's who we are. Because that's who they think we are. Yeah. So let's go on and be that.
Let's give it to them.
Yeah, let's be that. Yeah. And then and if that's the thing that they're afraid of, let's dive into that.
Yeah, let's give them
the
boogie monster.
There,
they want
our
the
skills and all, our skills and all that. Because people used to always say, "Oh man, they just out there playing freestyle basketball." I was like, "Man, are you crazy, bro? We got some of the most highly skilled, intelligent basketball players, and we just play fast and you." Stack bring the ball up. Monte bring the ball up.
Monte.
Harrington bring the ball up. Matt Barnes bring that ball up. Jay Rich play the two. Jay Rich sometimes playing the 4. Like you just can't find us.
So look, man, damn, and I don't know the name, but he was talking about it like, you know, he seen the change in Oakland and was like, you know, he didn't know if he could be a Warrior fan because he seen when it got gentrified. Say you go from a Monte Ellis, and then they had drafted. I mean, then they had got
Clay,
Steph and Clay. Like that's when that's when I seen the gentrification of, you know what I mean, the Warriors. And I was like, ooh. I think about it. I was like, damn. But yeah, that's when they start implementing all this up. That's when you start seeing people coming down the streets with baskets on the front of their bikes with the bells. Like, I started remembering, like, damn, yeah, they really cleaned house though. Then you start just saying, you know, have a light skin, no tats, and you know, Monte was smashing too. Monte was blasted. I'm saying Monte was blasted. Monte, like, hell yeah. I don't know where Monte from, but that
Mississippi.
We gonna say
Monte.
The way Monte out here mobbing, Monte mobbing like
we gonna claim him.
Icy ass, deep East Oakland, just icy ass, like.
For sure.
And then we got them shooters, and I'm like, damn. But as I was watching the gentrification of Oakland and how it go, and then I started to see it within the team, like, okay, all right, for you know what I mean, for better or worse, you know what I mean. Win all them championships, like, man, what's up?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's an upgrade. I mean, the Warriors when we were there. You got to think the owner had like tax problems. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we had a team president who was like all up in the video, all up in practice. The contracts, like Mully and Mitch Richmond put that thing together with Rod Higgins. We was about to do a thing, but it was like the ownership. He was terrible. The team president was terrible, and they went like first they let Mully and them do what they needed to do. Then when we started getting success, they was like, "Oh, we did this." And so you had that you had that friction. So the franchise needed new owners, and so you know the Lakers coming in, that kind of that brought a upper echelon of professionalism. This is a valuable asset. They got great talent. They coming off great energy and momentum. Man, what happens if we make that upgrade and start building out, you know, championship pedigree from president, GM, all the way to, you know, and start. That's how you win the championship. You got to be all over it's almost that you study. Like if you're an owner buying a team, you want to study what they did because all they did was improve the ecosystem right around the bubble, the little bubble energy. Yeah, and the product speaks for itself. Because when Steph came, it was like, you know, we believe was exciting. Monte Ellis exciting. When Steph came, exciting. When Steph and Clay start shooting threes and Mark Jackson let that open, that's exciting. Shout out so Mark now, Jackson like too, bro. The level of coming to the games, you was always like, damn, I've been riding this high for a long time. Now that high goes
higher. Yeah.
Way higher. Now KD come. It's like, what? Higher. Like this whole
that's like this is like a bubble.
Yeah.
You feel me? You done sprinkled a little bit of you feel me? Tell me. And Day, you feel me? And my son. That say, man, you coming to this parade with me, because I think this is like
Draymond,
this like back to back from, you know what I mean, us winning the Super Bowl and then them winning the championship.
Yeah,
or it might have been vice.
Yeah.
But it was back to back.
back-to-back.
And I'm like, oh, I'm doing back to back parades, and now
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? I'm
Your
in the
hometown.
town
Yeah.
with the Warrior parade with Day, like, you probably the worst being like.
Nah, it's perfect match.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm perfect.
That's a perfect match.
But I'm saying, as far as the optics of that, like,
It's
you got
lovely.
It's
Beast
lovely.
Mode
The hell
and
with
Day.
that.
On the same float?
Going on over there.
That's the one I want to be on.
Yeah, we're Mama Green at. And we active with all the activities and festivities with it, but I mean, it's like, you know, as you watch it and, you know, you grow with it, I'm like, damn, this is beautiful, because now I'm seeing city in a light that I ain't never seen, right? And then I know, just being from, you know what I mean, from the town, and then it slapped me while I'm, you know, up there on the what they call the float.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around and I see hella different, you feel me though?
People.
Yeah.
Yeah, the town is it's a melting pot.
Yeah,
It ain't just here. It ain't just the streets. It's here.
And then I'm like, oh, well,
Makes sense.
if you building a business, you got to cater to this kind of demographic, you know what I mean? And then you can lose hindsight, like, well, what about us? But then when you in this situation, because some of my closest family members came from complete different backgrounds.
Yep.
You talking Vietnamese,
Filipino.
you talking Filipino, you talking
Chinese,
Korean. I got Yemen, Afghanistan, real African. You feel what I'm saying?
It's a
And
melting
I'm like,
pot.
Yep.
oh,
It brought everybody out.
now I get it.
Yeah, it brought
Now
everybody
I get
out.
it. But I mean, it took for me to look at it and to understand that.
Well, BD, before, I wouldn't want to keep you too long, bro. I want to ask you a couple current things, man. I don't know when this going to be shot or whatever. It could be closer to the NBA playoffs, whatever. You know, Dre, basically, they're an all-star.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Guaranteed they winning. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Do you think the Warriors got enough firepower to do it this year?
They just bring it.
Yeah.
They brought in. I know,
Yeah,
man. I got to ask the expert. He'd ask me, the basketball expert, between the three of us in here.
Yeah,
You know
I think
what I mean?
when you're looking at OKC, number
Shooting at
one.
me, bro.
Yeah.
You look at the Lakers with Luka. You look at Denver. And then I would say the Warriors as well. And the difference between, and me and Sean, we was talking about, the Warriors have never had a post-up player and somebody who posts up when they make their run. And so teams have been playing and designing their defense to stop the Warriors on the perimeter and stop Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Now with no Steph,
Wait.
with no Clay,
Right, but
it's
Jimmy,
like, okay, we can zero in. Now you got Jimmy. If y'all play that way, Jimmy is,
He gonna eat
you know,
you
a
alive,
superstar athlete that gets, I don't know, I'm trying to say this the right way. He a superstar, but they don't pay attention to Jimmy defensively like they do a Steph.
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh, you got Jimmy working the baseline, getting to the free throw line, posting up. That's what Warriors never had. It slowed the game down. Now
so
when
now
you
they can
now you know this dude he gets easy buckets.
Jimmy Butler.
He right by the basket.
Jimmy
Now it's like,
Buckets.
oh, I got to change my focus. And now you see freedom from Steph Curry. So now you see this kind of counterbalance of an inside-outside game. And then you think about now Jimmy and Draymond anchoring that defense. Now you got two highly intelligent bullies
Yeah.
that know where the defense
real
gonna go.
bullies though.
And
Yeah.
you know
Right?
Draymond gonna go get
Yeah,
you at least
and they
3 sets.
scientists. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Draymond is a defensive, not only a defensive specialist, but he a scientist. Because when you hear him out there, he communicating. He know he can't get it everywhere. You know what I mean? When he was younger, but he knows where to put people in place to make them a better defense. Now you had Jimmy Butler that had a known defender. he gets still. Jimmy make plays on his own.
Yeah.
When he,
He's a
and
creator,
so
yeah.
and so to have that type of superstar that is a superstar that takes care of all the intangibles, and then you counterbalance that with Steph Curry, who's just Steph is Steph, one of the greatest all time. Like, I think you got a bipolar dynamic with the Warriors that they can beat any one of those teams
That's an
in a
interesting
7-game
way to put
series.
it.
It is, man.
Bipolar dynamic.
I mean, it is, man.
Draymond gonna sack every quarterback.
All right, last one before we let you get out of here.
He gonna sack the out of it. Stump on him, elbow him. Man, I know I'm gonna get got.
Last one before we let you get up out of here, man. It's the Get Got Pod, right? Years ago, Beast Mode, we had an interview. He famously said, look, everybody get got, but I'm going to get mine more than I get got. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yes, football field, whatever the case may be, give us your get got story. Because, it happens to us all. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's on the court, whatever you decide to share.
Nah, not that one.
Yeah.
Keep it on the court.
Keep it on the court.
Keep it on the court.
Yeah, I was about to. Yeah,
Keep it on the court, man. Mike, stop doing
I was saying,
who we had to stop that time? Dame. Yeah, we had to stop Dame. Dame was. Yeah, man. I was standing at the corner one time.
They found the wrong person.
I said, man, that's what happened. In attendance, man. He gives you instantly. I say, yep, that Deep East Oakland representative.
Yep.
Brookfield. I say, damn, Dame.
Oh man, that's a good one. I would say probably like my get got is I think when we started our own agency, right? I was like 22, 23. Me, Rico, Ty Ramazar, Ray Young was the first client, and we all sat in New Orleans, and we was like, "Yo, we just gonna do this ourselves." You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna go get this deal myself. And so I would say, like, at that moment, you look at your career and say, "Damn, I'm gonna have to make a lot of sacrifices, right? And we're gonna have to figure out how to be like them, because everybody that comes along the way almost has an authority or more experience to take advantage of us." And so I would say when you represent yourself, you have to make concessions as an athlete more long term, right? And so in that moment, I think, there was opportunities where I think people felt they got over on us, but at the same time, it was like 4 dudes that was 23, 24 years old. And we didn't know what we was doing anyway. So
learning game.
learning the game and getting deals done. And so, there was moments where I probably like my Reebok deal, we probably gave away, more money than we had to get the deal done. But at the same time, we wouldn't have got the deal if it wasn't for the experience, and that always taught me, like, sometimes dudes aren't good dudes, right? But there could be some good business, right, if it makes sense for you. And so you look at, I think that's where I got disappointed.
How you learn to take the emotion out of it, though? You know what I mean? Because you're an athlete, right? And
you don't know.
We talk about this all the time.
You heard that?
And athletes,
I thought I was the only one.
We're used to. I balled out. I did the thing. I get the money.
We look.
You know what I mean?
We as athletes, we are defined by trust. Everything in our DNA. If I can't trust you, I can't what?
Play you.
I can't with you.
Yeah.
Right? I can't play on the same team if I don't trust this dude, right? And so when we live our life outside of that, all we're looking for is a group of people that we can trust. And so since you really can't trust nobody, remember, everybody, the whole ecosystem, right? When you start thinking about a young athlete, everybody is there to, like, ooh, they see more value in you than you see in yourself.
Yeah.
And so your morals, right, and my morals may not even be aligned. But if I see a deal and it makes sense for where I need to go to advance my career or advance what I'm doing, then I don't have to ever hang with you again.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And a lot of times people, you know, I would say in my career and for all of us, you know, we was fighting a fight because everybody was like, they shouldn't be doing this. They can't do this. It's not cool for like, so we getting hate, you know, we getting hate, Ty getting hate, Rico getting hate. And we just kind of like stuck to our cars. And it was like, damn, here comes somebody that's going to, you know, do right by us. And at the same time, like what their version is right and what your version is right is all defined in like what you would do.
Right.
Yeah.
How you trust. And so once you learn that
Motive.
you trust the people that you learn to build diligence around trust, and then everything else is like, that's the deal. That helps me. You know what I mean? I don't give what it does for you.
Yeah.
And because I'm never hanging with you ever again.
Yeah, we ain't on that. We ain't like that.
And so we gotta like start learning to like not trust people or like build our own ecosystem of trust, especially within each other.
Yeah.
Right. So we share information, share ideas, because, you know, and I say it was always good having good vets, but a lot of people saw what we was doing, and a lot of people helped and chime in, but it was a lot of dudes that knew what we was doing, that wanted to do what we was doing, you know, and didn't want to share that information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And be like, well, let them get got too.
Yeah.
And so it was just really about defining our niche and knowing that, man, we don't know how long this is gonna last with us being our own agent, but what we did was we changed the game.
Mm-hmm.
And younger players started looking at us like these fools be moving. They go wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
They at the MTV. They ain't got no publicists. They over here. They ain't got no publicists.
They email the same people to get the same. I mean,
and so that's just how we started moving, and why I started moving in entertainment and music, so we could just like, because, you know, you getting a lot of hate in basketball. It's like, all right, man, well, in the summertime, we gonna hoop, and then I got other friends, right, in other industries, so I'm gonna learn what they do and get acquainted with that. But like, when you look at every industry is the same when you got talent, you know, it's just a matter of like,
As the product.
can you trust somebody to build something with you? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not trust yourself and then up a relationship where somebody could have helped you advance your career based on, you know, what you think? Yeah. And so like for us, we just gotta just have a better dynamic of like defining how to like move. I would say move away from like trust and like having that understanding of like, all right, this is my tight knit group, and then this is the deal. Mm-hmm. And so things should be kind of black.
You just embody all of that. I'm gonna get got, but I'm gonna get more.
Yep. Mine more than I get got. Man.
That's, you know what? Out of all the get got stories that we heard,
that's some ism right
to
there,
put
bro.
That's ism for sure. But
right
to put it together in that, sense though, if I had to explain what I meant by that, like, what would that mean? That's exactly what it is. But the thing is, the way that you just put it out there for individuals to digest, you can paint a picture with it. But the thing is, that ain't just in sport.
It's for everybody.
That's life.
That's in life.
That's life.
Yeah.
Damn. I knew
DD, thanks for coming by the show, big dog.
Man, I know I'm gonna get got, but I'm gonna get mine more than I get got though.
2-4 for the one time. I'ma get got, but I bet I get mine. 2-4 to 2-6, and if I get got, then you know what I'ma get.